Heyo, Hudson here with Planet 4 Gaming. I am flying the Ki-84. You may have thought last video, wow, Hudson seems kind of bored. What's up with that? Well, that ends here, because this time I'm flying a plane I actually like. And I know a lot of people complain about this plane's flight model being broken. In some areas that is definitely true. It has a really crappy takeoff run, and it gets kind of clunky in the turns. That's the best way I can describe it. But overall, I think this plane is pretty fucking badass. I don't know what everyone's complaining about. I love this plane. I mean, it's a beast in the head-to-head. It's got an awesome armament. It's super fast. Takes damage pretty well too. What is there to complain about? I mean, I'm pretty successful in this plane most of the time. Yeah, there's definitely a change in play style from the previous Japanese planes. You know, the Zero and even the Hei are mainly just turn fighters. They're not very fast. This plane you got to learn to play different. And I'd say the hardest faction to go up against is the Russians on Zhengzhou, because they can, for the most part, easily outclimb you. This plane doesn't have a great climb rate, so then you're out of advantages to a large degree. But a lot of the times these cocky Russian players will try to go into head-to-heads with you. Go into head-to-heads with them. You will win. It's at least 90% of the time, I'd say. Yeah, the 230s and 220s are excellent. Excellent armament. They destroy everything in their path. You will see enemies disappear before your very eyes. It's like magic. Other than that, when you're against the Brits and the Americans, take advantage of the fact that most of the maps are carrier maps and you get that air start. So you can just start out above everyone, dive on them, and the mission is all yours. Here I'm in a full game. I've climbed to about 4,500 feet. There's a B-17 here I'm coming up on. And you'll see this is a less than stellar attack pattern for taking on B-17s. I like to get like at least 2 kilometers above them, that way you can stay out of range of their guns and just dive on them really quick. I'm not really doing that, but this plane can take a decent amount of damage and dish it out pretty well in addition to that. But he hit my engine, a really lucky hit. Not bad damage, but it's gonna start dying on me, so I have to head back to base. Yeah, another good way to attack heavy bombers is, if you're at the same altitude, attack them from the front. That way you can get the most speed possible, like closing distance. And the front guns on the B-17 are less accurate. They're not twin guns or anything like that. So yeah, take advantage of that. So here I've taken off again after repairing, and I see a B-17 and looks like a fighter up above. I'm just gonna fly out and see what happens. Anyone attacks me head on, that's really stupid. Yeah, that's about it. And it looks like we've got a Spitfire coming at me. B-17 as well, lower. So I'm trying to turn away from the Spitfire, get away, but he's coming in too fast, so I just turn on him, Turn on him, get the head-to-head. Oh, you're done, boy. Goodbye! Yeah, fuck you, bitch. Yeah, Ki-84. Love this shit. B-17, too. Coming in. Look at this bastard. Bye-bye. He's history. Guns tore him apart. That's another great thing about this plane. The Japs were kind of lacking in planes that could destroy heavy bombers. The Zeros were too slow, not heavily armed, terrible armor. It's just like the worst combination possible. King Cobra, he apparently did not learn from his partner's mistakes. He goes to finally manages to black out my engine, and now I'm gliding back to the runway. So that should give you a good demonstration on this plane's potential to win head-to-heads, obviously. And if you do not take an enemy plane out in the initial pass, you should not try to turn with them. Obviously, one was a Spitfire. You should know that anyway. Even the King Cobra, you can't out-turn them. Just try and get as much distance between you and him. This plane is very, very fast. You can get away very easily. And then once you get enough distance, just turn around and take him in a head-to-head. And you should win most of the time that way. Also, if you're making a diving pass, and you're behind a guy and he's turning to get behind you, don't turn with him, just fly past him or climb. This is not a turn fighter by any means. There are a few planes you can out-turn, probably the Mustang, but other than that, if you don't have a clear advantage, don't push your luck. Also, when landing on this runway on Saipan, do not get too close to the trees. They have very inaccurate hitboxes. If you're within 20 feet of that tree there, you will probably explode. I've uploaded a video on this. Just take my word for it. Anyway, perfect landing. Just about perfect. And yeah, time to get some repairs. So here we are taking off. Enemy doesn't have too much planes left, probably one fighter, one bomber. So I'm heading out, just trying to find some action at the last minute. Looks like this Bearcat wants some. He's coming in, being tailed by my teammates. They're flying Zeros though, so probably can't outrun him. I'm just trying to build up enough speed to maneuver. Like I said, this plane does not have a very good takeoff run, so keep that in mind. And looks like the Bearcat's making the same mistake every one of his teammates made. When will you ever learn? Don't go into head-to-head with the Ki-84 Hei. Bye-bye. My plane hits his plane a little, but the Ki-84 doesn't give a fuck. It stays intact. Unfortunately, my engine died, and I hadn't built up enough speed to glide back, so that's the end for me. And if you were wondering, this Zero does something very honorable for his country, sacrificing himself to take out the last guy on the team and give us the victory. So, what have we learned here? Ki-84, not a turn fighter, very fast, very well armed, pretty good armor. Don't go into turn fights. Use your speed to your advantage. And yeah, it's got a few issues, it's got a few bugs, but overall I don't see what's worth complaining about. It's a pretty damn good plane. Probably has just become my favorite plane in the game, if not one of my favorites. So, try this plane out. you gotta research that to get the Ki-200 anyway, which is what I'm doing. So yeah. This has been Hudson with P4G. As always, thanks for watching, and get the fuck out of here. Degenerate, the Degeneration.